Welcome to Reddit. Shocking school bans, where schools ban things because they were too popular. If you are new to my channel, then please subscribe and help me reach 100 subs. Gel pens. When I was in primary school there was this weird trend where all the girls would suck on the ends of gel pens, so their tongues turned into different colors. They would trade pens with each other in the school bathrooms and sneak away from the teachers and go to hidden parts of the schoolyard so they didn't get caught. It was the closest I can think of comparing to a drug ring, but imagine it with 7-year-old girls. One of my friends was really popular because she was the girl who sucked on the most pens and would get caught in literally every class sucking on a different gel pen, and the teachers would always have to walk her out to the nurses. She'd make herself sick and throw up. They eventually banned them. I tried it once and spat it out immediately because it was nasty and tasted like ink. Duh. I didn't get it then, and I still don't get it now. In elementary school my class was divided into groups, penguins and rats. We would always go to our group for team assignments, for games, for anything really. Somehow an actual rivalry started to sprout until the whole school was divided in these two groups, with first and second years getting into actual fights and stuff. Pretty soon the principal cancelled recess for a day and went to each classroom to tell us penguin team and rat team were banned. Others did create some smaller animal named groups after that, but they all dissolved pretty quickly. Your elementary schools literally created gangs or mayo. Grand theft education. There was a kid in my high school who made probably around $500 in a month for making duct tape wallets. Administration found out, but didn't ban the wallets, just banned conducting business on school grounds. Someone went around school and sold his origami at 50p a piece. He'd get orders every day and then make them at home. Sounds like the school should support the entrepreneurship of its more motivated students, assuming everything they are selling is legal. Hair flips. Circa 2003, long skater hair was very trendy. Said kids were flipping their hair out of their eyes/face. An 8th grade history teacher went on a vendetta under the reasoning that hair flips pollute the air with "hair dirt." Kids started getting detentions. That's a really stupid pretense, but I can understand why the teachers got annoyed with a room full of kids flipping their hair, like they have Tourette's syndrome. My teachers in high school just mercilessly mocked the hair flippers until they knocked it off. The hair flippers discovered that it drove the teacher mad, so they began flipping it consciously to piss her off. She created her own monster. When I was younger, we played this where you draw a circle on your hand, and other people would try to draw a line inside of it. If someone was able to draw a line in your circle, then you were out. The objective of the game was to be the last one standing. It was small at first, but eventually almost everyone in my grade became involved, and it spiraled out of control. Chaos. Pure effing chaos. Kids were tackling each other, running away from other students, disrupting lessons, etc. Teachers eventually began to talk to us about how far our game had gone, and started banning it altogether. It was fun, while it lasted, boys. I was in middle school from 2009 to 2011. Bloons Tower Defense was huge. Everyone played it in any room that had a computer. The school had to install special blockers, but people kept getting around them, so they straight up banned Adobe Flash. Someone at my high school managed to install Quake 3 Arena onto the central server, so it was able to be accessed by any computer connected to the network. There were kids in my web development class playing against other kids having their study hall and the library on the other side of the school. Not sure if the administration ever found out, but the year after I graduated they changed out all of the Windows computers they had for iMacs. Capri Suns. Kids were too stupid to figure out how to get the straws in, and teachers got tired of helping everyone. That's hilarious and sad. What's weird is Capri Suns were easy to puncture, but it feels like between 2005 to 2009 they suddenly became stupidly hard to puncture. Rulers. Year 10th in HS, for whatever reason someone decided to smack a guy across the head with a ruler. Then everyone went out and bought a ruler. Suddenly everyone was a knight with a sword. Staff kept confiscating them, but rulers are cheap, so kids just went out and bought them by the handful. They ended up banning rulers at a school. The kids who were taking geometry that year and needed them had to be assigned rulers at the beginning of class and then turn them back in. Rubber bands. Kids weren't even using them to shoot at other kids or otherwise misbehave with them. Kids would buy packs of rubber bands, tie the rubber bands together, making like a big rubber band chain. It became a contest to see who could get a chain of rubber bands to stretch the farthest. You couldn't find a pack of rubber bands at a store for probably 20 miles. This was when I lived in a small town, so there wasn't a ton of stores in that 20 miles. Amazon or even public internet access didn't exist yet. One kid got so many rubber bands, they could stretch it the length of the school building. While stupid, I didn't think it was a bad hobby as kids weren't shooting them or shooting stuff with them. It was all about how big of a chain they could make. School rewarded our pointless creativity with a ban on rubber bands at the school. All rubber band chains were confiscated on site. Putting condoms on everything. Pens, people's heads, arms, bags, shoes, smartboard remotes, baseball bats, clocks, balls, literally anything. The best bit was that the school gave out free condoms. They were fueling the opposition. After a week, there was a ban on condoms being out in public. Anyone seen with a condom that wasn't in their bag or blazer was immediately given a detention. The kid that started a tuck shop out of his locker went to a wholesaler's, bought some stuff, sold it, used the profits to buy more, repeat and repeat, until he's now staffing a child guard to stop shoplifting and renting other people's lockers for stock overflow. Our classroom just became kids queuing to buy sweets and energy drinks. Sometimes a line so long in 15 minutes he couldn't get everyone waiting served. Then, bam, banned, no selling anything on school property. Pretty much just aimed at this kid. Dude ended up stabbing someone, got expelled. No idea where he is now, but think his shop getting banned and being replaced with an overpriced healthy staff-run tuck shop squashed his entrepreneurial spirit. This is the most welcome to the real world life story on here. Young up and comer has great idea. Big company comes in, steals the idea and profits from it. That's unfortunate. We are only allowed to have €2 money for bus. If a teacher that even cares caught you, the teacher would be allowed to take the money and keep it. This was changed due to making it a crime. One time a teacher took €75 from a student. Luckily she was forced to give it back. Warheads. It grew to such an issue with these sour candies. Kids were organizing a black market where the kids with the highest allowance would buy them in bulk from the corner stores for a nickel each, distribute them to upperclassmen for a quarter each, who would turn around and sell them to the final consumer for 50 cents each candy. There was even a barrier to entry. If you wanted in the business, you would have to eat 3 candies at once and not spit it out or throw up. Warheads are the real gateway into drug dealing. Legit happened at my school. Some kid was selling warheads from 8th grade till 10th grade. Once that business ran dry he moved on to jewels, pods, weed, pens, etc. Rock paper scissors. People at my middle school kept playing a game called Aurea, where you play rock paper scissors and the loser has to do a dare. According to the teachers, it got out of hand. It really didn't, none of the dares were that bad, so they decided to ban rock paper scissors. Hearing that on the announcements in the morning instantaneously killed half of my brain cells. If you were caught playing rock paper scissors, you would immediately get detention. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Edit. Everyone is saying that instead of theirs, they just had to ask someone out. That is really what my school did. I just said theirs because it was easier and I didn't think it mattered. When you lost, the winner told you a person and you had to go to that person and ask them on a date. Randomization. People would gather around a vending machine and chant randomize, and the person performing the ceremony would punch the keyboard and get a random snack. Edit. I think that the whole reason it was banned was because the mid-lunchtime chanting got disruptive and the administrators didn't want to risk students breaking the machine. I believe there was also cheering on receiving the snack. In 3rd grade, a few kids got obsessed with the words cheese, FedEx, and camel. They said them all the time and those words got banned for the entire class. Very similar to something in my primary. There was a week that everyone started saying the catchphrase from adverts and everyone had different ones. There were arguments about who would say what phrase. Pogs. Yup. We got the it's a form of gambling once a bunch of losers lost the pogs they bet and then complained about it. That's how it always goes. The losers' moms come to school and start threatening lawsuits over cardboard circles and everyone's fun is over. Pretty much. And those damn kids were like, he stole my pogs. No, you lying shit. You bet them and then lost and cannot abide by the outcome. Like, we had kids who insisted on just playing for fun, and that was okay too.